Welcome to the Skylab Command Center tutorial on creating actions. To create actions or highlights, I'm going to go down to the App Manager and I'm going to select Gamification. Once I'm inside Gamification, you'll see that I have the Highlights tab or the Group of Highlights tab for creation. Engagement analytics appear after the user has already engaged in what you've created. So to create a highlight, I would simply click this button here. I would tell it what group to belong to. I could set up the icon or upload an image from my computer that would appear inside this group. I would title it. I would say, for example, ate healthy would be had a healthy meal. This is going to be what displays on the home wall of the app when the user selects this button. And then I want to decide what image is going to show up on the profile here. I typically recommend doing these two as both the same. So if you upload an image there, to do an image here. Or if you upload an icon of a book here, or in this example, if you upload an icon of 2 forks or something about eating healthy, make sure you upload an image here that is something to do with eating healthy, so as not to confuse users. I'm going to scroll down. We've already talked about in other tutorials how to connect these different buttons, but I want to walk through some that are specific to the actions. If I select this platform actions, the most commonly used here are going to be the camera module for things like a selfie. And if I scroll down, you will also see share the app is common, but we're going to look at text post. If I select text post, it's going to be the same as the posting module that you'll see on the home wall of the app, or I can select track it. The difference between track it versus camera module and text post, these two allow users to create their own content, whereas track it, you are curating the content for the user so that they don't have to think about it. By doing that, you would select this highlight advanced settings. You scroll down to where it says activity wall settings, post an activity card to the rec wall. You're going to select this. You're going to upload images here. These will appear on the home wall as the user selects this action. And then you would put down here what you want it to say. Obviously, these images do not match eating healthy, but you would type it in here, and you would make sure, of course, that the images match the action that you're trying to create. You can add a CTA button or sponsor in the top corner. That just tells the user, hey, if you want to eat healthy, go to Icon Meals, and then you type the Icon Meals URL here. And then that way other users who see this user's post will be able to go to that website. I'm going to scroll up a little bit and go over some of these other settings since I kind of skipped over it. The first thing you're going to see is points. You can turn points on or off. We almost always leave it on, and then you can tell it how many points you want this particular action to track. The next section down is limits. So you can set a limit and say, I want to limit where the user is only doing this once per day, per month, or per week. Do you want this action turned on? Do you want it to show up on the profile, which is in the user stats? And always leave this one on for the leaderboards. That helps it create points. Okay, so now that we've created a track it, or walked you through the track it's, I'm going to walk you through this next part. Is extremely, it's the one area that people come back to me typically only once before they get it. So pay attention to this part, it's very important. If you are creating an action and you want this action to link to a group of actions, you have to make the connection. So the first thing you would have to do is create the group of actions. For example, the group of actions called new idea. If I wanted this button to connect to new idea, I would simply select it here. Notice though that the group was created previously. Or if I wanted it to connect to a single highlight inside of there, we have this one, features external link, but this is the important one. So I am going to go back and show you what this looks like and why users get confused, or clients. If I go to group of highlights, I have my list of highlights here. If I open up, for example, let's not do daily. Daily, there's nothing there. See how there's nothing in that one? We're going to move on to, let me see if there's something that has a lot. Not really. Okay, well, let's go to personal development, optimize. Let's open up optimize. Notice how this one has two actions in it. If I wanted a user to open up an icon, if I wanted them to select a button here and it opened up a group that looks like this, I would have to do two things. I would first have to create the group and put all the actions in it that I want to open, and then I'd have to come back into this optimized group and add the action that will link to that action group. I don't know if that makes sense. So let me walk you through it. We are going to create a group right now, and we're going to call this group 1. And we're going to type in a phrase here, select from the list below to share. I'm going to quickly select a category here. I'm going to upload an image. I'm just going to do something random for now. And now that we've created the action group, I'm going to say save. Now I'm going to go in, I'm going to create action group number 2. I'm going to do something quick because this is just a demo. I'm going to choose my category stats. I'm going to upload an image. Save. Once you've saved your groups, you can then go in and add different individual highlights. So I'm going to select group 2. I'm going to scroll down. Maybe I want this one to be a snap it, track it. So I would come over here and I would select my icon. This one's fine. Okay, I'm going to make this kind of vague since this is just a demo, and I'm just trying to show you the pain points. So because I uploaded a camera over here, I want to upload an image that matches. So I'm going to do upload cover, and I'm going to go to desktop, and I'm going to upload my camera here. I can also say, you know what, I don't want to use an icon and an image separately. So instead, I'm going to hit the preview button here, and I'm going to go to desktop, and I'm going to upload the camera module there, or the camera image, there as well. Once you've done that, you're going to select camera module from this list, and you're going to make sure your settings are accurate, and they are. These are the two that I always check, and then you're going to hit save. Once you've saved that action, you want to save the entire action group. So we did that. Now I'm going to add one more, and I'm going to call this one track it. I'm going to go straight to the image this time. There we go. And then I'm going to scroll down here, and I'm going to select, for track it, we would do the track it link to, and then I'm going to say I do want it to capture on the home wall, and then I'll just upload a few images. Notice it doesn't work. You have to upload these one at a time. Okay, once you've done a few of these, notice that I have to add this down here at the bottom. And then I'm done. I'm going to hit save. So now we have successfully created our group 2, and I want that to be a snap it, track it. I'm going to save it. But if I want to be able to open up group 2 from group 1, I then have to go back, go to group 1, and create the highlight. Maybe I don't want this. Typically you would call this group 1, but just to show you the difference, I'm going to say something else. I'll just say open. It's opening group 2. I'm going to upload an image. I'm just going to be quick about this and not worry about being specific. So I'm just going to do the same ones that we just did. Obviously, you wouldn't want to, you would want to have its own unique image. Now I'm going to go down here to group of highlights. If you can't find the group that you just created, then that means that you didn't turn it on. So let me save this and save it here. You can see that we created the button, and now I have to go to the group of highlights area and make sure that these are both turned on. And otherwise I can't access it anywhere in the app, including connecting it to the group. So now I'm going to reopen group 1, and I'm going to go down to open, and now I can say I want this to connect to group 2. So notice that this is inside group 1, and I want it to connect to group 2. So make sure you don't accidentally reconnect it to the same group it's already inside of, and then I'm going to hit save. And then the final step would be, if I wanted this to show up somewhere, like maybe on the home wall, I would then have to go to the action dashboard, and I would have to create the action here, connect this one to group 1, and then group 1 is already connected to group 2. And what that would look like is when the user clicks, let's say this says group 1, they would click on this icon, it would open up group 2, and they would see group 2 at the top, and then they would be able to make their selection between Snap It and Track It. I highly, highly recommend that you play around with connecting groups of actions to groups of actions and seeing how that plays out and how it connects to each other. Because again, this is one of our biggest pain points on the app. It doesn't last long. People or our clients typically get used to it within 1 or 2 tries, but it's really good for you to know thoroughly how to do the actions and connecting the groups to each other. So I highly recommend playing with the action groups and connecting them to each other.